today's video. Today, we're talking about memoirs. So first, let's answer this. Who is your favorite celebrity? And why do you like this person so much? Please think about this so we can share in class. Now, let's go to student book page 10. Please read this text and think about this. Who do you relate to and why? Pause the video while you think about this. Okay? Have your ideas ready so we can share in class. Now, let's go to page 11, exercise A. Here, as you can see, we have 3 sentences. We need to rewrite the underlined parts using the previous text as a base. Look at number 1. Well, she obviously changed careers. A lot of people change careers these days. As you will notice, we can rewrite it as, well, she obviously changed careers. A lot of people do these days. Pause the video while you work on sentences 2 and 3. Okay, number 2. I hope it works out for her. It did for me, but for some people it doesn't. 3. She still hasn't gotten any work. I know a lot of graduates who haven't. Okay, great. Now, what are the italic words doing? As you can see, we are using them to avoid repeating the same verb. We're using auxiliary verbs to avoid repetition. Let's look at these examples. He is a good student, as I am. I am a good student. I think it is a great movie, but my family doesn't. They don't think it is a great movie. She took the test last week, which I did too. I took the test too. Mike hasn't been to Tokyo, but Tamara has. Tamara has been to Tokyo. You got a new job, and she will soon. She will get a job soon. I hope it works out. It did for me. It worked out for me. As you notice, the verbs I have here with yellow, am, doesn't, did, has, will, and did, are basically replacing the verb, so I don't have to repeat it. Now, please take a look at this. Are the verbs used in the same tense? Well, in some of the sentences, yes. As you can see on sentence 1 and 2, I'm using simple present and my auxiliary is also in simple present. In the third sentence, we have simple past and simple past. For number 4, we have present perfect, hasn't been. And I only use the auxiliary for present perfect, has, but still it's present perfect. In the last 2 sentences, that's not the case. I started with the past, but then I use an auxiliary in the future. Or I start with the present and I use an auxiliary in the past. It's totally okay if you change the tense of your auxiliary. So, let's see. Something that we need to consider is that if the main verb is verb to be, we are going to avoid repetition using verb to be. Look at the example. I am very good at math, but my brother isn't. As you can see, I have verb to be in both cases. If the main verb is another verb, you're going to avoid repetition with other auxiliary verbs, like do, verb to be, have, etc. For example, look at number 2. I was hoping to graduate last year. My friend was too. As you can see, we have past continuous, right? Was hoping. And I avoided repetition by using verb to be in the past, was. Look at the next. I have been thinking about settling down, but Mike hasn't. Here I have present perfect continuous. My verb is think, of course. And my auxiliary is hasn't. I'm still using the present perfect continuous, but only the auxiliary part. I had never had straight A's till last year, but my friends had. As you can see, we have past perfect with the verb had. And my auxiliary was still had, the auxiliary for past perfect. Now, what happens if you have a modal verb like can, should, will, etc.? Well, you will continue using the same modal verb to avoid repetition. Allison cannot understand why I want to travel, but my mom can. If you see, I only repeated the modal verb. Let's continue. Let's go to workbook page number 2, exercise A. Here we have to complete the sentences with the words in the box. We have to use each word at least once. Let's look at the example. I am following in my siblings' footsteps. They are working hard for their degrees, and now I, too. They are working hard. In this case, I'm going to use am. I am working hard, too. Pause the video and work on the rest, please. Okay, so for number 2, you should have as I am. 3. But my best friend doesn't. 4. My friends haven't. 5. My friends do too. And I know they do too. And number 6. My brother did too. Did you have the same? Great. Now, please go to student book page 11, exercise B. Here, we have to complete the conversations using auxiliary verbs. Let's do the first one. Have you ever taken any risks in your life? No, I suppose I haven't really. I went to college as my brother did, right? Because we're talking about going to college, we're using the auxiliary do, but in this case it's past did. Pause the video and work on the rest. Okay, we're going to check your homework during your class. Now, go to workbook page 2, this time exercise B. Please complete the sentences using auxiliary verbs. Okay, we're going to check this exercise together in class as well. I will see you then. Bye-bye!